Welcome to Doing Different with Kimmie, the podcast that proves life doesn't end at 50. In fact, it's just beginning. If you spent years raising kids, working hard, and putting others first, now is your time to shine. Here, we believe that rediscovering yourself, finding your true purpose, and using your voice to help others is not only possible, it's powerful. We showcase inspiring women just like you, women who are learning to do things differently, whatever that means in their lives. Whether it's picking up a new passion, changing careers, or simply embracing a new outlook. Our guests share their journeys openly, honestly, and with plenty of laughter along the way. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and join me, Kimmie, for real conversations, fresh perspectives, and a supportive community where your story matters. Because here on Doing Different, the best chapters are still ahead. So let's celebrate this new beginning together. Karen Onove is passionate about her husband and family, and she is a certified herbalist who enjoys creating natural products and remedies. Her expertise making herbal soaps, tinctures, and balms is hard to beat. If you love natural products, wellness, and herbs, you will enjoy our conversation. Let's welcome Karen to the podcast today. Welcome to my podcast, Karen. And I know that you've been having a journey as a certified herbalist. What inspired you to become a certified herbalist?
Hi, Kim. Thanks for having me on your podcast. To be certified, the reason was my business. I've worked with herbs for many years, as you probably know, but I am a firm believer that if you're trying to sell something or a product to somebody, there's a trust factor there. And I think being certified just helps people understand that I do know what I'm talking about to a degree, and it's not really so they will buy. It's more of a trust factor for my business to be actually certified.
Right. And how do you stay updated on the latest research and developments in your herbal medicine or in herbal medicine?
Yeah, social media. Um,
Social
I
media.
belong to a lot of herbal apothecary wellness groups, and there are posts every single day from different people asking questions, and you see lots of answers. Some of them I don't know where they get the answers from, but I learn something every day and really enjoy being parts of their groups. I literally do learn something every day. And as much as you think you know, there's a whole abundance of knowledge out there. So, and I believe you belong to a lot of social media groups for herbalists too.
I do, and I have my very own as well. I have two groups and a page for because I grow moringa trees. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm always making products with moringa or tinctures or mostly teas. I mostly dry teas, dandelion, moringa, lemon balm, peppermint. I have a huge herbal garden outside, among other things. But yeah, I do belong to those groups too. And I'm also learning a lot, myself as well. And so, well, that's really great. What about creating your natural products, and your remedies? What types of natural products and remedies do you most enjoy making?
Soap and
So,
salves.
soaps and salves, right? And I have,
Yes.
like I had, as you know, I have two of your soaps. I gave one to my son, the peppermint one, and I like the frankincense and myrrh. And you just present them so nicely and package them so nice. And it has been helping my skin because I have a lot of rough patches over here, like in this
Mm-hmm.
location, like right here. I don't know what that is. But it's getting so much better since I've been using the frankincense and myrrh, and it's just so smooth. Um, it smells good, the texture is smooth, it lathers really well, and so I'm really, really enjoying it. And can you walk us through your process for developing soap, um, or any product that you so choose to talk about? And you don't have to, go into great detail, but maybe just give us some ingredients that you use and also,
Mhm.
the kinds of waters that you use or the kinds of liquids.
Sure. Well, since we're talking about soap and it's my favorite because I'm very artsy and I am very creative, and that's what the creative side of me to comes out making soaps. Basically what I do is I research the colors that I want. So February is coming up, so it's reds and whites and pinks. And then I think about the aromas, what aroma am I going to use, which would be rose. Um, and typically there's always a water that's mixed with lye, and I try to eliminate the water and replace it with something that's either citrus, where I've juiced a lemon or an orange, or for this particular new soap that I'm going to make, I will steep rose petals because that just seems to keep in with the theme, and it's actually very good for your skin. So that will replace the water content. And then, so that will mix with the lye, and the oils that I use are and cocoa butter, and I have a base recipe that I use most of the time. Sometimes I'll add a hemp oil or apricot kernel oil or something slightly different, but I do tend to keep the same base recipe. And then once I've got that all together, I infuse the oils to start off with. So I'll probably have dried rose petals and infuse them into the olive oil, since that's the main ingredient in the soap. And I'll do that anything from 2 days to 4 days of I'll infuse over a double boiler and then take it
Mhm.
out overnight and then put it back on the double boiler, so the oil gets all the benefits from the rose petals, and it also has a lasting aroma, rather than just using essential oils, which that aroma dissipates after a while. So that's the basics of making the soap, mixing it all together, putting it into the mold. You wait 24 hours for it to kind of set a little bit, and then you cut it, and then it's going to cure I use baking racks for 4 to 6 weeks, and then you put the labels on and such forth.
Oh, 4 to 6 weeks on baking racks. So the soap solidifies and you just leave it there on the racks in your kitchen for 4 to 6 weeks.
Mhm.
Yes. And what do you use to color?
Actually, it's French clay, which is a natural mineral. I use moringa or chlorella powder because we eat that. I put it in my smoothies, and they have the wonderful green color. So that's what I use with the Christmas soap, was the chlorella powder, knowing that it's good for you and it's natural. I don't use any mica powders or any colorings and things like that.
Do you what do you think about pomegranate powder? Would that color it pink or red? Because I got some pomegranate powder the other day, because I'm going to be making some soaps
Hmm.
for the kids for Christmas, and I also got some spirulina powder. So I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. What do you think about that? What do you think about the pomegranate powder?
It it may do. Are you going to, so when you add the powders, you can either add them to the oils towards the end, or you can add them to the lye water. It really depends. Um, Sometimes when I add juices to lye water, it will change the color completely. It will go a green or a brown. So different ingredients makes different colors sometimes. I usually use rhubarb alkanet to get the redder color, or I'll use French pink clay for the pink.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, I'm gonna try it out. I'm just doing a melt and pour. I'm not gonna be doing the lye, so we'll have to see how that turns out. I know it's a pink powder. And I know that pomegranate has a lot of health benefits, so we'll see. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
So, um, so the process that you use, you were saying is more so you're working with the lye, you're working with the water. You need to make sure that you're covered, right? When you're working with that, because that's a very dangerous product to be working with the lye. So, are you covering yourself up for that?
Yeah, when I measure the lye and the water, I take both the ingredients out to my patio and I have safety goggles, little glass, the safety glasses, and I put my gloves on and I make sure my feet are covered because last year I did splash when I was mixing the ball of the lye into the water and it splashed out and burnt my foot because I had flip-flops on. And so, yeah, it's very important. It does get up to a temperature of 150, 160 degrees. And so I leave it
Wow.
out there once I've mixed the two together and leave it on my patio and I come back in and finish off putting the rest of the ingredients together and then I'll go back out and bring it in once it's cooled down.
And what is your favorite ingredient?
Rosemary.
Oh, rosemary. Oh, yes, yes. I remember you telling me that now. And you grow it yourself, right? Like I do?
I do grow it myself. I have several bushes. I used to have one very large one, but unfortunately it didn't survive outside. I have them all grown in my patio now. I steep water with rosemary and use that in soap. And then I also dry it and infuse the oils and use that in the soap as well. So you get like a double whammy mixture of rosemary. It's very, very good for you. It's my favorite soap. I actually got what is it like poison oak on my skin or poison ivy on my skin last year when I was outside cutting bushes. And I used my rosemary soap, and it really, really helped within 24 hours. So I know it's very good anti-inflammatory, antioxidants. It's people put it in the oil to mix into the scalp. It helps with the circulation and your hair follicles and such forth. So it helps renewal of your cells there. So I think that's the main purpose that people use or know of to use rosemary is for hair growth in the scalp.
Exactly. And you don't want to infuse the fresh rosemary. You would want to dry it, right? It's because of the molding that could take place in the oil.
Correct. Yes, I have a dehydrator, so I use that, and then sometimes in the summer, if it's a herb, I'll just leave it outside, and it actually dries quicker if it's just on
Yeah.
like a baking tray with some paper.
Yeah, I tried that with my moringa and I went out the next day and all the moringa had fallen off the stems onto the ground. And I was like, oh, I'm never going to do that again. I'm going to continue to use my dehydrator or I'm going to hang it up in
Yeah.
the house because something, I don't know what happened, but they just all like, I think they dried out way too fast down here in Florida, and you and I are both in
Yeah,
Florida, so yeah,
probably.
it dried out. This wasn't recently; it was like more in the hotter months and like a few months back. But yeah, so I learned not to do that with
Hmm.
moringa. So I brought it in the house and I'm hanging it up in here or drying it. And so yeah, I love rosemary too,
Right.
and I just wish it didn't take so long to grow in its full mature
Yeah.
level.
Yes, it
So
does.
what are some of the products or recipes that you would recommend for beginners that are interested in getting into herbal remedies? What's a product or what do you suggest that they would begin with?
Sure. Sure. I think the easiest thing to begin with would be a tincture. Salves or, lotions and soaps can be quite complex and a little overwhelming to learn. And tinctures are very much, you can just use one single herb and vodka or grain alcohol or glycerin, whatever your preference is, and do a 50-50 mixture or a 30-70 mixture, depending on the herb. But yeah, sterilize a mason jar, and I use the grain alcohol to sterilize it. Pour in the herb. Echinacea is a good starter. I really love that herb because it helps boost your immune system, and then use 50% of the alcohol and close it, label with the name of the tincture herb and date it, and then put it somewhere cool and dry. Anything for at least, I'd say 10 days to 3 to 4 weeks. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it's going to get stronger, obviously, the longer you leave it. I think the quickest you could probably grab it is 10 days, but I'm usually within 2 to 4 weeks to
Yeah.
strain it and then bottle it.
And with using the 80 proof alcohol or even the grain alcohol, it extends the shelf life of the product, and it's for me, I believe it purifies it more. It extracts it more,
Yes,
and it pulls
yes,
from the herb, and so I really do like
yes.
that way. I'll be doing vanilla pods. I was supposed to do them today, but I'll be doing them tomorrow. I'll be infusing, making my own vanilla extract. So we'll see how that works out. And how do you ensure
Sounds
the
great.
quality and safety of the products that you make? How do you ensure that quality? Because I know in your business, quality and safety is extremely important to people. So how do you ensure that?
Yes, it's very important, the most important. Always buy your herbs or your ingredients from reputable companies. There's Blue Mountain, Bulk, Apothecary. There are 3 or 4 reputable companies that are very well known if you was to look up on the internet for natural herbs. I personally have a apothecary store in South Daytona. The lady has been working with herbs and a herbalist for about 50 years. She's traveled all over the world, and I work with her, and I've asked her previously to help um, uh, purchase a herb that I wanted to make a tincture with, and she does all the research for me, which is very, very nice and happy for me. She does the research, and I just go half with her on the bulk shipment because obviously, she gets them from farms, and she found a farm that had a beautiful blue vervain still with a lot of them come, the cheap ones leaves. And this one you could see in the packaging, there was a lot more leaves than there were stems. And so it's very interesting on the types of herbs when you buy them from not such reputable companies.
What
Um,
can you make with that? How do you pronounce it? It's blue veve.
Blue vervain. So that is a herb that I use. I have a tincture blue vervain and I use it in my daytime tincture. It's very good for stress and anxiety. It's a little blue flower, Verbena hastata, I think it is, that grows on like meadows up North America, like maybe
Oh,
streams, wet meadows, that kind of thing. It's one of my favorite herbs, but yes, stress, anxiety, all that kind of calmness. And then with my daytime tincture, I mix the blue vervain with lemon balm and holy basil. Those 3 herbs, and I
okay.
call that my daytime tincture.
Okay.
Yeah, with all 3 components together, very calming and relaxing, and helping with those
And
little overworked neurotransmitters.
yes, and how come you call it your daytime one? Because it is calming. Would you not want to take it at night or?
I have a nighttime tincture, and the ingredients are valerian root, skullcap, and passion flower. And those
Okay.
3 herbs are just more, they would make you more sleepy. And not necessarily, I know people that take passion flower during the day and it doesn't affect them. But if you read up and research especially valerian root is for sleep disorders and helping with sleep. So I put
Yes.
those three herbs together to create what I call a nighttime tincture. And then the daytime are three, like lemon balm is just very calming. It's not necessarily going to send you to sleep, although it could help you go to sleep, but it's not going to make you drowsy.
Right, right. And it's funny that you should say that because I just packaged a bunch of my teas to send out to some friends. And my mix was lemon balm, moringa, chamomile,
Oh,
and
nice.
lavender. And I'll tell you what, you don't need a lot of lavender to feel like you're going to go into a coma. So I just made just
Yeah.
a little pinch because it goes a long way. Lavender will make you pass out I'm very sensitive. So I
Mm,
have to be very careful. Like with ashwagandha and stuff like that. I have to be really careful. But yeah, that was one of my mixes. And so the lemon balm went very nicely with the lavender and the chamomile, and of
right.
course the moringa for anti-inflammatory and all other
Mm,
ailments. It really is a power herb.
yes.
Moringa's great. So that sounds really good. And do you have any success stories from any of the people that have used your remedies or soaps? What are some testimonies?
Yeah, a lot of people that use my soaps, not really testimonies, they're just people that use the soaps and say that they would never go back to using a regular soap again. So I get repeat customers on the soaps. Um, my main testimonies are either on the wellness salves or magnesium. Magnesium is my biggest and best seller. And I do get a lot, I sell a lot of it at the markets that I attend, and people ask me, it catches their eye, and then they inquire about it because they've heard about magnesium. And most people that I actually talk to do suffer from whether it's restless legs or they can't sleep because they got leg cramps and things like that. And so I suggest the magnesium spray because it's natural. And I know it works because I use it myself. And then they come back and they tell me the next week that, or they Facebook and tell me that they've had the best night's sleep ever. So that's really great to hear. I really love knowing that my products help people.
And what kind of magnesium do you use? Because I know
I,
that there are
yeah.
powders and there are different kinds of magnesium. What's the kind that you use
Okay, so
that you make?
it's a magnesium chloride crystal, and then it is mixed with it's 50-50%. So you mix the crystals with 50% distilled water, which I warm up just to make it, melt a little easier. Mix it up, and that's your magnesium spray. Now, is not as beneficial as glycinate. Glycinate is what you would take as a supplement. The chloride, you don't get that in a supplement, but it
Right.
works very well as a spray. And the pores on the bottom of your feet are larger than anywhere else in the body. So when you spray your feet, it's absorbed much quicker. I actually take magnesium supplements and use the spray as well because I just have genetically wise a body that just doesn't keep magnesium in it for some reason. So
Right,
I use
right.
them.
And I think that would work better for me too, because I find that the more supplements that I take, and I've taken a lot, but I'm now switching to liquid and I'm liquid vitamins, and I'm also doing my tinctures
Mm-hmm.
and droppers and stuff like that of different minerals because I developed kidney stones by taking mega doses, I mean, not doses, mega amounts of gelatin caps and had
Oh
no
my
idea
goodness.
that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that if you took like, I think I was taking 20 or 25 a day
Yeah.
of different supplements in the gelatin caps.
Mhm.
And my nephrologist said, you can't do that anymore because something with the gelatin, because capsules are so much better for us to absorb those vitamins and minerals and herbs. than the tablets because
Mhm.
tablets will just pass right through you
Right.
and you won't get the nutrition. And so I'm doing the mega amounts of capsules, and that's what happened. And so, but I also am a chronic producer of kidney stones, and I can't have certain vitamin C. I can't really do much of vitamin C or calcium.
Mm.
So from supplementation. So I get it from, broccoli and other veggies and herbs and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So that was a very bad shock to me. I was very sad about that. But
Mm.
I still do take a few. They said it was okay, but not 20 to 25. So,
20 to 25. That's a lot.
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, I was drinking bottles of water like crazy just to get them down. Yeah, that's a lot. So, how do you, let me ask you this. How do you balance your passion for your business and between your business and your family? How do you do
Mhm.
that?
I always put family first, but mainly I get up super early. So I get up 4 or 5 o'clock, and I am amazed at the amount of work that I get done in the first few hours of the day. And then I work typically to about 3 or 4, and then I switch off. And
Yeah.
and switch over to my family. My husband is a very big supporter and he helps me. So we're doing things together. He comes to the markets with me, so we spend time together. I really enjoy the markets. I just don't like getting set up and I don't like breaking down, which nobody
Yeah,
does. But I really enjoy being there and talking to people about the products because normally when I talk to somebody, if they're inquiring what's in it or how I've made it, usually they end up buying it because it's
right.
first off, it's just a jar or a bottle with a label, and they're like, okay. And then you explain to them all the things that are in there, and then they want to.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so I really enjoyed that part. Tincture wise, I never advise anybody anything. I have booklets of the tinctures that I make with all the benefits in there, and I can tell them what a tincture may do. But they have to make their own mind up because I don't, and I explain to them, I don't know them. I don't know if they're on
Right.
medication or low blood pressure and all that, or diabetic. So they got to do their own due diligence if they want to buy something like that, that they have to check with a healthcare professional and make sure.
Right. So you have a disclaimer in there,
Mhm.
disclosure. So, well,
Yeah.
that's really, really good. And I think that because I follow you and you ran out, you sold out. I don't remember what the product was, but it was last weekend and there was something that you sold out of and you were so happy about it. What was that product?
It was my little Christmas packages, actually. Yeah, the little
Oh,
soaps and body oils. I had some more at home, and I had to put more together at home for the market. This was 2 weekends ago. So everything that I took just went, and then I was like, oh, now what do I do?
had you not brought enough with you, or had you made all of the Christmas packages and you just sold out of all that you had? Or had you not just did you bring them all?
No, I didn't take
Oh,
them all because I thought I would get more orders online, and so I didn't want to take them all and then not have any for the online. And I have other products in other stores also
oh,
in the area. So it was kind of like divvy up, and I'll just take some to the market, and they just all went. And yeah, they were cute little boxes with a 1 ounce body oil. And the body oil had jojoba and vitamin E, and it was infused with things like the peppermint and the orange. So very
oh.
nice aromas, and a little half bar of soap, and just packaged cute and Christmassy. So they went very well. So.
That is so nice. And so what stores are carrying your products?
Mm-hmm. There's a store called Serendipity in Palm Coast. That's a very unique artisan store, and they have vendors spaces there. So I have a whole shelf unit with all my products there, and they're open Tuesday through Saturday every day. And they have a lot of events on, crafting events and host events there too. So it's a very, very nice store. There's a new store newly opened this year. No, this year, June this year, called Native Home Marketplace in the Volusia Mall. And I have a
Okay.
storefront in there as well. Um, some of my products are in a massage area, and then there is an artisan store that was newly opened this year called the Ormond Collective. I was there this weekend, and we are signing up to put my products in there after the holidays as well.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Well, that was the next question I was going to ask because I know that you talked about you were getting a storefront. So
correct.
you're not going to be doing the markets anymore, right? Because you're actually getting a store, a physical brick and mortar store.
Right. So I call it a business as opposed to a store. I will have all my products in there and it will be presented like a store, a small store. And then I will also be making my apothecary and small items in there. But I'm also in the midst of studying different things for naturopathy practitioner, holistic nutrition consultant and things like that. So once I've finished, I'm always juggling something, but once I've finished everything, I want to utilize the space to help people. And the area that the business is in is a big wellness area. So, yoga, hair, fitness, massage. So everybody kind of works together and it's a very unique space in Ormond Beach. So I'm very excited that's going to be open mid January, I think. But I'm still going to attend for the time being the markets on Saturdays in Flagler Beach because I really love going there and I have a good customer base of repetitive customers that come out and see me. And so I don't want to not do it right now. So,
Boy, that's exciting. That is really exciting to be getting your own storefront actually for others to be carrying your business. I mean, that's where it's happening. People going the tourist over. I'm assuming that Flagler Beach is not far from St. Augustine. Is that correct?
correct.
Okay, so we there's a lot of tourists. I go over there a few times a year and I'll have to check that out. What's the name of the place that it's going to be at Flagler, or is that just the marketplace?
And the marketplace is at Flagler Beach. My business is in Ormond Beach.
Okay. All right. Ormond Beach. All right. So my final question is there any advice on what products you recommend for beginners to start using? Um, I know that we don't want to overwhelm them, but if there's somebody out there that says, I'm tired of using these harsh products, for example, I'm tired of using laundry detergent, somebody else's invented laundry detergent.
Mhm.
Um, I want to make my own, so I do that with washing soda and my essential oils and stuff like that. So I'm starting to do that. I mean, I used to do it years ago and then I got lazy and now I'm starting to do it again and I have a little bit more knowledge about it. But if somebody wants to start getting healthy, whatever that looks like to them, what would you suggest that the first thing that they do to start in on a nice home remedy um, pathway?
Mhm. I would suggest to them to look at their diet. It's not necessarily herbal, but it's definitely wellness.
Yes.
And yes, you can take herbs. I'm a very big advocate of our bodies and inflammation, and I believe, what we put on our skin is important as was what we put in it. But at the same time, if we don't put good things in it, then our skin's not going to be very good at the end of it.
Right.
So, and it's just like a lot of the salves I say to customers or potential customers, it's like a band-aid. This salve will help your eczema or psoriasis and it'll stop your skin from being inflamed for the time being,
Yeah.
but it will come back because unless you take care of what you're eating or stress factors and things like that. So my suggestion would be start off with a diet and look at foods like turmeric and ginger and cayenne and foods that are anti-inflammatory and start learning about that and pick up a book and do one thing at a time. Don't
Right.
overwhelm yourself to think that you have to have a knowledge of all these different herbs. Do one herb maybe a week and learn that herb. Um,
Right.
and then progress onto salves and balms and lastly soap and household items. Yes, you can do household, and I think that's I don't want to put it last on the list, but it was last on the list for me, and I still struggle with it, like the laundry detergent. And I've got the
Yeah.
little balls that you put the essential oil and put them in there. And sometimes I just don't, because I just don't have
Right.
enough time. So, but
Right.
food to me is always the most important. So somebody that wants to learn about wellness for food, that's going to help you with your herbal journey and
Right.
learn one at a time.
Right. You start with the foods, and then that way when you're incorporating and you're adding tinctures and you're adding balms, you're going to be healthier, but you need to start with your core on the inside. And for me, yes, I was doing all the right things, but I was still breaking out on my face, even at the age of, 59 it was last year. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was doing all the tinctures, I was doing my teas, I was eating healthy, getting back in shape. And I realized it's the detergent on my pillowcase. It's got to be
Mhm.
because I don't wear perfume,
Right.
or it was the conditioner I was using. And you're washing your hair and it runs down your face.
Yeah.
Don't think, oh, but I'm using a great facial product and I'm using a very pure, healthy product on my face. Well, are you using a healthy, pure product on your hair?
Right.
Because if all these sulfates are
Hmm.
running down onto your face from your shampoo or your conditioner, then you're going to break out if you're sensitive to that. So, or if you're sleeping in sheets that have super harsh detergent, detergents in there, it's going to make you break out.
Hmm.
So, yes, definitely food first. You got to become, healthy from within, and then take a look at, I think, in my opinion, take a look at what you're sleeping on and take a look at what you're washing your hair with
Hmm.
and your clothes, because if you're concerned about skin and stuff like that.
Yep.
But yeah, nutrition is key. And I'm going to be collaborating with a friend of mine who's a nutritionalist. Her name is Karen as well. And I'll be collaborating with her. It's going to be a little bit different for me because I do the tinctures and the infusions and the teas. But with her, I'm going to be incorporating herbs into a nutritional program.
Hmm.
So, for instance, you love rosemary, so we can cook with rosemary. I love that focaccia, if I'm pronouncing it right, focaccia bread
Oh,
that you
yeah.
dip into the olive oil with the
Hmm.
rosemary. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It is.
And even my son loves it. And so we'll just be incorporating a little bit of herbs like that in our dishes and stuff. But that's not coming until January or February.
Mhm.
And So I'm looking forward to that. So
Yeah.
yes, internal nutrition is the best, and then add all the other stuff as you go. Don't get overwhelmed, but just do it. Just start somewhere, somehow, get healthy. And I am so happy that you joined me on my podcast tonight, Karen. And I just thank you again because I'm in awe of what you do, and I follow you. And where can others follow you?
Gatherednaturalwellness.com.
gatherednaturalwellness.com, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then also I'm going to be including that. I'm going to be including the links and other links to some of the stuff I'm doing down below if anybody's interested. Karen, you've got so much good information and you have so much knowledge. It's just incredible how many products that you make and how beneficial it is to everybody. And I would urge those that are listening out there, look her up. I mean, she's got some great products, and the soap is fantastic, as I was talking about earlier. It makes your skin smooth, and it's the bubbling of it, of the foaming of it is really nice too. You know, sometimes you'll get, and I'm not going to name any products out there at the nature food stores, but sometimes it makes your skin, they call it squeaky clean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, the squeaky clean is nice, but it's also very drying. And so, and that can happen with natural products too,
Yeah.
but they're omitting some really nice products, that they could be putting in there to make it softer. But anyway, so what you're doing is fantastic, and I appreciate it. So thank
Thank
you so much. And for my listeners today, I hope that Karen's story has inspired you to invest more in your wellness. And if you want to keep in touch, just follow Karen. Like I said, all the links will be below in the podcast description. And until next time, keep doing different. Bye bye, Karen. Thank you for being my
Bye-bye. Thank
guest.
you.